I was talking on the telephone to a good buddy of mine. I looked on the floor, and guess what I have here? You'll never guess. You'll never. So this is one of those do it right fast projects that kind of needs to get done before I go up north tomorrow. Ta-da! What they do? Use flange sealant on this? Oh man! I mean it doesn't affect what I have to do at all, but for the guy I'm doing this for, just means that he has more work to do. Ah, that's a bummer. Sorry, my ADD's kicking in, isn't it? Knock it off, Jared. Just do the job. Ah, man, nope, leave it alone. Okay. As you can see, this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 rib. And my job is to make it stronger. How do you do that, J-Rod? How do you make a 6 rib stronger? So mind you, what I'm going to do is not too sure how you. So in theory. Oh, dude, I'm crushing that stuff. Don't do that. Oh, whew. I was a little worried I ran out. So it's hard to explain. When going through the whoops, right? When you're really cycling, I shouldn't say whoops, but when you're cycling the suspension, they're saying that these transmission cases are moving a little bit. Like, I mean, it's pushing these dowels and making it, right, ever so slightly. Which, when you do that, because your side load is dictated by the cups that you screw on here. But when this whole thing moves in and out, it changes your pinion depth. And you can wipe out your ring and pinion. Ring and or pinion. So they found out. I don't know who found out. I mean, hopefully somebody can elaborate on this a little bit more. Just from my knowledge, everybody else's knowledge. I'm sorry, I'm just picking at this stuff. It just... Okay, but they came up with a gusset. Ooh, don't leave that in there. That is supposed to strengthen the transmission case. And voila. Right? So this gets welded on just like that. And it is supposed to strengthen the case. So the only thing that really kind of bums me out is this transmission's painted. So I've got to come into here, right? Because the way the weld works is I've got to clean all this up. So I'll come in, I'll climb up on top of here, go down there. But anyway, it just adds more. And of course, I don't have a sandblaster. That'd be silly. Da 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 da. And this is, in fact, magnesium. So one, we hope that there is not a fire. Okay, so I'm going to make just a silver pencil mark. It's not really important. I just need to make sure I get all that. So really, yeah, that's fine. And I will take the paint off somewhere else, not right here in the welding area. If you've ever seen a magnesium fire, you know that you don't want that to happen in your garage. So you're not going to make magnesium dust where you plan on welding. Because obviously the dust is going to be way easier to catch on fire than the actual transmission case. Sorry, I'm still picking at this, man. Holy Jesus. That's just terrible. What side was I picking at? Was it this side? Okay, so I'm not terribly wrong for picking at this. Because what I'll do is, after I get done welding it, and it kind of cools down, I'll go over on the mill, and I'll deck it. Just the weld. So, I need a nice clean flat surface. So that works out good that I kind of did some maintenance to the old mill. Because then I get to test it out on this. Although I wasn't getting too much of a bad finish on face milling, but Okay, good there, good there, good there. I don't know, there's a little piece there. And so it's not totally terrible. They use flange sealant on here. Okay, I mean you can have that, especially for the price of gasket sets, I guess. Okay. I like to use gaskets because luckily my buddy Stefan up there at Campbell's Machine, aka SC Performance, he told me about using that copper spray RTV, and what you do is you actually coat the gasket with that, let her dry, and then put her on. And my own personal transmission, I did that too, just on the nose cone, because my hockey stick shifter part broke. And then when I actually got the upgraded parts, obviously the next year, I took it back apart and I was able to use the same gaskets. So one, it adds another layer of sealing, and two, I was able to not rip the gasket and reuse it. So I'm just making sure that all the RTV's off of this, just so I get a nice flat surface when I put it up on the mill. And this really isn't that bad. I've had way worse. Okay, there's some right there. Alright, I think that's it. Okay, so we're gonna go take this over. Right? Yeah, that side goes down. We're gonna go take this over to the other side of the garage. I'd love to call it a shop, but let's be real, it's a garage. And we will start removing paint. Now I'll use a couple various different apparatuses, right? Is that what you call it? Tools. I'm gonna use different tools. Like I'll bounce around from a little 90-degree pneumatic deal. No, I could probably use my electric one. A wire wheel, which sucks because that thing just throws wires everywhere. I'm worried about going to bed at a decent hour, but here I am picking at this garbage. Okay, let's go hurry up and get this done. after this. There we go. It's almost like popping a pimple, you know? It just seems quite rewarding to me. Or like picking a scab. That's what it's like. It's like picking at a scab when you're a kid. Boy, that actually looks like paint right there. Whatever, it's fine. As Derek would say, we're just gonna pretend we didn't see that. Man, Stefan's gonna have a blast with this. What's really crazy is the customer is right around the corner from me here. But then Stefan's 100 miles away. But it's fine. I forwarded the job to him because, one, I haven't done a 6 rib yet. And Stefan is really good with 6 ribs. And 2, I don't have the time. Okay, let's go get this cleaned up. Okay, hopefully that time lapse didn't look all kind of funky. I'm not too sure how welding videos look on this. Okay, so just got done welding magnesium. So obviously doing a transmission case from the 60s and 70s. They've seen nothing but gear lube. So these things are dirty. One, it also didn't help that it was painted. As much as clean, I think I would get it. It might not be clean. So a lot of times with magnesium, you can fill the filler, hit the puddle, and there is a layer of oxidization that you can get under, right? So it looks dirty, it's popping and banging, but you can still put filler metal in there and it will take. A lot of times you'll get this nice pretty look, but when we deck it, pits will show up. No matter how hard I've tried to keep going back over it, the pits just keep coming out. It's just like any other TIG weld. You start with a dirty weld, you're going to end with a dirty weld. You can't add the filler rod to it to take the junk out. It just keeps getting melted in there. Then, of course, when you go back over it, same thing. But anyway, I don't think I'm going to have enough time. So Stefan will set this up in his machine. He'll deck, because there is a little bit of a contour here. So he'll go through, make sure it's the same level as the case. It did melt. I'm trying to think. Okay, so right here, it kind of melted into the edge of that. So I added extra just so hopefully It'll seal up. I kind of think that I might have to add some right here, which I should do pretty quick before this thing cools down too fast. The other side, man, that turned out great. But there I wasn't really too worried about burning into these cavities. So there is, like, that right there won't clean. Oh, that's hot. That won't clean up. There's a little pit right behind there that wouldn't clean up. But this is plenty strong enough. Plenty stronger than it was. So I'm excited about that. Yeah, so this is my first side. I should have added more right there. Yep, I'm gonna turn the welder back on, and I'm gonna put a little extra there. Yeah, because it's kind of bad. Well, it's not kind of bad. I think it might be acceptable. But just for my safekeep, I will add some. I'm gonna keep rolling. Hopefully this microphone don't go haywire, or hopefully it's not too loud. Okay, just double checking the gas, dude. I get in a bad habit of turning it off right away, and then something like this happens, and then I go to strike it up again, and sure enough the gas is not on. So you'll probably be able to hear the crackle and pop of those pits coming out. Yeah, I like that. Whoa. A little too far away there, dude. So I just went ahead and went all the way down. I'd rather have too much weld than not enough. Oh yeah, we're proud there, so that's good. Yep. I think that's once he decks it, uh, that'll be just fine. Hopefully he's not mad at me. But all right, we'll see you tomorrow.